Maharashtra has a new chief minister and a new deputy chief minister, but many questions remain, including what will happen to stalwarts like Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story, and we have a very special newsmaker coming up in a moment. But let's take you through the key developments at this hour. Eknath Shinde, as you know, has been sworn in as the new chief minister of Maharashtra. And after initially saying that the BJP would support the Shiv Sena from outside the government, Devendra Fadnavis is going to be the deputy chief minister. Mr. Fadnavis is seen as a key architect of the reunion of the Shiv Sena and the BJP. Amid all of this, many questions remains, including the loneliness of Uddhav Thackeray. Now, his aides are suggesting that this arrangement could have been done even 2 years ago in 2019 had the BJP been willing. Joining us now is key aide of Eknath Shinde, senior Shiv Sena leader Deepak Kesarkar. You have seen him at all of the press conferences. He has been the public face when the Shiv Sena first decided to rebel, but now it can't be called the rebellious or the rebel MLAs. Now they have to be called the actual Shiv Sena. Namaskar, Deepak ji. Congratulations. Namaskar.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Sir, was this always the plan? जब आप लोग separate हुए, when all of you first went to Surat, then Guwahati, then Goa, was it always the plan that Eknath Shinde ji would be chief minister and Devendra Fadnavis would be the deputy, or were you also taken by surprise when that announcement came like the rest of us?
We were taken by surprise, madam, with this because first of all, we had gone to Assam. That is, this is true, but that time nothing was in our mind. We were still having a dialogue with Uddhavji, and we were trying to convince him that he should join with BJP because that was the original mandate of people of Maharashtra. But in spite of our continuous reminders for him for the last 1.5 year, and with the kind of treatment we're getting from the MVA partners, NCP and Congress, because they came into power only because of us. And in spite of that, they were announcing their own candidate to be the next MP or next MLA of that constituency, which was quite hurting. And we mentioned about this also. And with no inputs from your own party members, the development was literally coming to a halt. And then we thought that we must speak to him. We spoke to him. And then came the election for the Rajya Sabha, where the our voters, which were given to us by NCP, they cross-voted. Mr. Raut, he publicly announced that these people have not voted for us. And in spite of that, no action was taken. And that was the end of it. Then there was MLC election. Everybody was unhappy that we are Shiv Senics, but our chief is not listening to us. He's listening more to a stalwart like Sharad Pawar. All of us respect Pawarji. But not to this extent that even if our party is getting finished by his own party, he's not intervening. And that was the end of it. Everybody left. And I was the last person to leave because I was still having a talk with Honorable Uddhavji. But it could not materialize. And till the last day, when we were in Guwahati, I sent him an open letter saying, you first make yourself away from MVA, and then we'll come back, we'll have a talk with you. And he didn't take any action till that day. Then, as a spokesperson or representative of those 51 MLAs or 50 MLAs, those were in Guwahati. Last day we announced that till this day we will wait, otherwise we'll have to take our own decision. And I think now that's all for us. And then we fought a battle in the court, and we won there. And Shindeji took every care to see that we come back into power. But it was a master stroke by BJP, I think, because they know the nerve of the people, and they see to it that a Shiv Sena and a real Shiv Sainik becomes chief minister of Maharashtra. And that was the wish of Honorable Babasaheb Thackeray. He wanted to make a Shiv Sainik CM of Maharashtra, and that has come true. And another thing is that although the constituency of Mr. Shinde is Thane, that is the urban area, but he originally belongs to Satara and is a son of a farmer. So, when a son of a farmer comes to the power, first thing he announced today, because today is Krishi Din for Maharashtra, and that is Vasantrao Naik, who made a green revolution in Maharashtra. So, giving him tributes, he announced that he wants to make Maharashtra um, suicide free. So, a lot of farmers from Maharashtra are committing suicides. So, look at his aims. He's not talking about politics, he's talking about farmers. And he
Hmm.
immediately left for Mumbai to attend the meeting because Bombay is flooded. So, he will have to
Yeah.
attend the meeting also of disaster
Deepakji,
management.
Deepakji, you've said a lot of different things. Let me pick them up one by one. One, you said Uddhav Thackeray listened more to Sharad Pawar than to his own party colleagues, and that you tried for a long time to convince him to break the coalition and join hands with the BJP. When you approached him with this proposal, what did he say to you?
Madam, I did not only appeal him, I arranged very high level meetings to see that he is comfortable. He has that comfort level.
Between him and the BJP? Between him and the BJP?
Yeah, scholars. But I'm a small party worker, madam, but I'm a devotee of Sai Baba, so it happens with me automatically that the meetings could take place and he knew about it, and in spite of that, he didn't take any action. So, what people like us could do? So, we are over in both ways. We tried to convince him, we tried to help him in doing that, but ultimately, he is the person who has to take the decision. If the decision is prolonged for a very long time, then it results into this. And Madam, I'll have to tell today, I was watching his interview and I was quite surprised that he was telling that he's our leader. So I have never given any statement against him or any statement about what he has told to the press. I have never gone against him. But today, the press, he mentioned that had BJP accepted his proposal 2.5 year in the initially itself, then it could have been a 2.5 year term for them as well. Then a person like me who has come specially to Shiv Sena after my fight in Konkan against the evil forces and establishing peace there, I was offered a very good post and my personal appointment with Honorable PM who, for any party worker, it's a great opportunity. But Parikar took me to Delhi. I convinced him that if I meet Modi ji, I'll not be able to refuse him. I said, Shiv Sena is the party who works for poor people, and I'm there to work for the poor people. So let me give the opportunity to work for Shiv Sena, and we are together now. That time they were together, and I'll act like a bridge between these two parties because they have the same ideology. And madam, in spite of that, the kind of treatment I received in Shiv Sena, it was quite hurting. But I am not a person who complains. So they have their own systems. They have their own spokesperson. Every day they come before the TV and they start very abusive or indecent language they use, and they talk about any person who has towering personality. You cannot talk about them in public. So this was something which we could not digest, and then there was a conflict between the central and the state, which was not in the interest of the state. So these are the few things that people like us they feel very bad about it.
I want to understand one thing. You say that you see today, Uddhav Thackeray and Sanjay Raut have made a statement that if BJP had been willing to accept a rotating chief ministership, what has happened today, Eknath Shinde as chief minister and Fadnavis as deputy, this could have happened back then. How do you specifically respond to this claim?
I want to ask him one question, madam. I have not till this asked him anything except that he should be away from Congress and NCP. We were trying to finish his party. Today, I want to ask him. Today, Shiv Sena has 5 years term. We are unhappy that BJP didn't had his 2.5 year term. So, getting Shiv Sena 5 years term is a tribute to Bala Sahib, and that tribute was given by Modi Sahib, who was very close to Bala Sahib. And you yourself had announced, and Bala Sahib has announced that Shiv Sainik should occupy this post of Maharashtra, CM's post of Maharashtra. Then if today your Shiv Sainik, who was just Shakha Pramukh is a last person in that chain because it is a cadre based party, and if one Shakha Pramukh is going to be the CM of Maharashtra, then what is hurting you? Because you were given the chance and then you didn't accept it. because you never wanted to have a dialogue with them. Maybe you were hurt with the kind of some allegations on Aditya ji. We are also hurt about that. But after all, you'll have to look after Maharashtra. You'll have to be more broad-minded, and you'll have to accept such kind of things when you have gone in the election with some party, and then you don't go along with the same party, and you have new relationships with new parties, and you form a new alliance. The party which was your friend becomes your enemy, and then everything
Yeah.
is fair and love and war. It is
You,
said. It is politics is almost like a war.
yes, everything is fair in love and war, but you made a very big revelation right now. You said that you arranged for Uddhav ji to meet with stalwarts of the BJP. You even organized the meeting. Uddhav ji was aware. Who did he meet, if I can ask you now? Who did he meet?
Now, madam, I'll not disclose this at this point of time because the kind of uncomfort which is being created in the ranks of Shiv Sainiks, this is reserved for them. I want to interact with them. I want to ask them this question. If I tell everything at this point of time, madam, this is something which is not meant for my publicity or anything, but it is specially meant for the Shiv Sainiks who have come on the road. They don't know the facts. So let me reserve something for them also, because they will also have to think that this cadre was created by Barasaheb, none other than a great leader who fought for Hindutva. And his Hindutva was different, madam. His Hindutva was not communal based, it was based on the Hindustan, this land, the one who respects this land. He used to call him Hindu, call them Hindu. So
Yeah.
that was his, that was his Hindutva, and he was a very strong Hindutvawadi.
But you are confirming, without revealing names, you are confirming that Uddhav Thackeray held secret meetings with top leaders of the BJP to discuss the possibility of rejoining hands with the BJP. You are confirming this.
Hey, madam, I have told you because this is just a mention, but I will not like to comment on this because I need to reserve something for the Shiv Sainiks because that was the heart of Bahasai. When they are hurt, I'll have to tell them something which other people don't know. And let me reserve it for the people and Shiv Sainiks of Maharashtra because Shiv Sainiks are very aggressive. The last sentence I told Parrikar Sahib, who was then the defense minister of India, that you will have 100 people like me who are soft spoken, but Shiv Sena will have few people like me who are soft spoken, who know what is politics and how politics is done done for a common person, or in the for the welfare of common person. And that's why I joined Shiv Sena. But today I have a compulsion to talk about my against my own party and own leaders for whom I joined Shiv Sena.
Okay, so you won't tell us the details, but you will confirm that these meetings took place and you were a mediator between Uddhav Thackeray and the BJP. Those talks were held, those meetings were held, but Uddhav Thackeray still chose to listen more to Sharad Pawar. So let's come to Sharad Pawar and Sanjay Raut. Who do you blame more for this situation? Sanjay Raut today has made a statement saying Shiv Sena is where the Thackerays are. How do you respond to this statement?
Madam, this is a little, soft statement because what kind of statements he was making all the time. You must have listened to it. He was calling us dead person. He was telling us that we'll make your postmortem. He was appealing to the Shiv Sainiks to come on the road. He used to call us pigs. What not he has told about us, and MLAs were so furious. They were telling that we have left our people, we have left our government position. Six of them were ministers in the ministry. So what more they will get in doing that? So his question, I really don't understand because when he says that we are not the true Shiv Sainiks, then Shakha Pramukh is coming to Shaka Pramukh is coming to the CM's post. So what he is unhappy about?
Hmm. Raut shared a image where he suggested Uddhav Thackeray had been backstabbed. But you are saying Sanjay Raut abused you all. He used words like pigs, etc. Do you blame Sanjay Raut for this, or do you blame Uddhav Thackeray? Doesn't the buck stop with the
See,
leader?
Sanjay Raut is a gift to any party. Anybody who wants to finish one party, they should send Sanjay Raut to be their spokesperson, and madam, that party would be finished. That is what I feel because 2.5 years ruling Maharashtra is literally nothing. Baba Thackeray used to rule the heart of every Marathi people, and that is what is called Shiv Sena. He used to say, "Power don't mean anything to me. The people of Maharashtra, my Shiv Sainik is my everything," and that is the difference between what Bahasab used to talk and what is the language right now. And there was a certain language which used to suit only for Bahasab because he had a clean heart. So people took it in different way. And his
But
language
let's
anybody cannot use, madam. That is different.
so
Bahasab was
let, let's
different.
pick let's pick up the statement. Sanjay Raut is a gift to a party that wants to finish itself. Explain that. Elaborate on that.
Madam, see, these people were hurt by Sanjay Raut, by his various statements. Then the conflict between state and center, every day he used to wake up, took a press conference at night o'clock, and he used to say wrong words about the central government, their policies, everything, including Modi's policy. Modi is a towering personality. We can understand that you are unhappy with BJP, but he has his own way of ruling India, but he is the only prime minister because of whom BJP reached each part of India. BJP was restricted to certain part of North India then, and then to a state like Maharashtra where they were together with Shiv Sena. But it reached every corner of India only because of the image of Honorable Modi ji, and that is the fact which everybody will have to accept. Whether is whatever he is doing, he tried to do it. He said that sabka saath sabka vikas, and he tried to do it. And people may blame him. This is politics after all. But we'll have to admit that he did certain things which were
Hmm.
not done till this date for the common Indian or the common farmer. Today, the farmer is getting maybe a small amount every 2 months, every 3 months, but that is a big relief for him. Nobody thought about it earlier. So these are Corona days. He gave that free vaccination. So many things he wanted medical. Because I'm not a spokesperson for BJP, madam, but till this date, nobody thought that you need so many medical colleges because you need so many doctors to tackle the health of
Yeah.
India. So certain policies you will have to appreciate it, no? And person like him talking about Modi is like a joke, madam. What is his stature? What is stature of a prime minister? So he will have to understand that. I am not against him, but people are get fed up with this kind of language. It is a indecent language, madam, which nobody should
Yeah.
talk about.
What is the role of Sharad Pawar? Because as you remember, Deepak ji, there was a time when Sharad Pawar's nephew, Ajit, actually seemed to be joining hands with Devendra Fadnavis. Later, it seems as if Sharad Pawar had planted that whole scheme and he was a Trojan horse. How do you look at the role of Mr. Pawar? Even when this rebellion happened, before Eknath Shinde ji was announced as the chief minister, one conspiracy theory was that Sharad Pawar was in the knowledge and Sharad Pawar ne hi sab karaya hai. How do you look at the role of Sharad Pawar?
Madam, I respect him very much because I was earlier an NCP MLA as well. I'll tell you one thing about one incident about Pawarji that when my battle for peace in Konkan was going on, he has assured me that he will not come to my constituency because I was the district president of his party and he used to love me like anything. So assured me the same day, and next day he was in my constituency. So I
Hmm.
gave my resignation as a MLA to him, saying that I have all the respect for you, but you ask me to campaign for the same person against whom I have made number of complaints that he's creating unrest in our area. Our people are suffering, and you are asking me to campaign because only you are telling me to campaign. In similar way, madam, he was instrumental in breaking Shiv Sena thrice. This is a fact. He was
Hmm.
instrumental in breaking when Chhagan Bhujbal went away and he entered Congress. That time he was the CM of Maharashtra. Then another incident was Mr. Rane. NCP provided him the protection on the floor of the house when NCP person was chairperson of Vidhan Sabha, and then it was again Raj Thackeray to a certain extent, because all of us knew that whatever support he got initially was from Mr. Pawar himself. So although he was close friend of Barasaheb, his contribution to the growth of Shiv Sena was nothing. He just tried to break away Shiv Sena, create the volume, and that volume was, again, there
So what
cannot be
was his
volume.
role in this? What was his role in this episode?
He insisted Uddhavji to become the CM of Maharashtra, which was not a dream of Balasaheb. Balasaheb's dream was my ordinary Shiv Sainik will go to that post. And Uddhavji is a very nice person. He was always telling us, then I'll make one Shiv Sainik the CM of Maharashtra. And that was his dream as well. But when he was told that BJP is not going to share 50-50% CM's post with Sena, then the option left with him was to go ahead with NCP and Congress. I may say that there was no other option in Maharashtra except when you don't want to have a tie with BJP. That was the only option left with him. But then what he has announced that my Shiv Sainik will become a CM, exactly the opposite way Pawar Sahib told that you got to be the CM, otherwise these people, those are stalwarts, will not work under anybody's CM's guidance. So CM is CM after all. How, whether he's
Yeah.
junior or senior, he
So
represents a party.
you're saying it was at Sharad Pawar's insistence that Uddhav Thackeray became the chief minister.
Yeah, and when he was not willing to accept that post, that is quite true, and he has number of time mentioned about that. And then
And
when he
what about this incident with Ajit Pawar and Devendra Fadnavis? We have those pictures. I remind you when Mr. Ajit Pawar seemed to join hands with Devendra Fadnavis and then left him high and dry. Was that a trick? Was that Ajit Pawar rebelling but being pulled back by Sharad Pawar? What happened exactly?
Madam, I'm not a person who will speak about other parties' policies and what they have done. But one thing I'll definitely like to tell you, joining hands with BJP would have damaged his party, and he loves his party so much that he made it happen that all the rebels who had left him, he see to it that they come back. And then he formed a government with the help of Shiv Sena, which was to his benefit, madam, because his party president from Maharashtra, I know it very clearly, Mr. Jayantrao Patil, who is very close to me, used to go to each constituency of our MLAs, and the person who was defeated in that constituency, he used to announce them as their next MLA, and they used to give them funds to fight against Shiv Sena because you have come into power only because of us. No, otherwise people of Maharashtra who have defeated you. And if Pawar Sahib wanted to stop it, he could have stopped it in 1 minute. Just one message from him going to his party president of Maharashtra could have stopped everything. But he didn't do that. And it is natural that he will like to grow his party, but at the cost of Shiv Sena, because of whom you have come into power once again. So that was something very heartening to our people, and then they rebelled. So I respect Power Sahib, but this is something which we cannot digest. Finishing of our own party, and we talked to Uddhav Sahib number of time about this, but he used to listen more to Power Sahib than a Shiv Sainik because we call ourselves Shiv Sainiks, ordinary party worker.
Yeah.
That is not the way how Shiv Sena works. I used to remember Basahev had given a clear instructions to all his ministers that unless a recommendation from Shakha Pramukh comes, you should not do that work. That means he wants to make the last person of his cadre to suggest what has to happen in that constituency and not the MLA. That was Basahev. And this is something different, which is new to Shiv Sena. And Shiv Seniks don't know about it. So I'll have to talk to them when our this fight,
Yeah.
because
Well, I'm
in the
trying to
morning.
I'm trying to get as much as I can out of you before you meet the Shiv Saiниks. Let me ask you now the two key questions.
Yes,
What
madam.
happens? What happens to the Thackeray's? What will happen to the Thackeray's? What if they decide to contest this legally? Even today, Sanjay Raut is saying where the Thackeray's are, that's where the Shiv Sena is. Because you all are no longer rebels. You are the Shiv Sena, but that is
Yes.
not being accepted by the camp that is loyal to Uddhav and Aditya. So, what happens to Uddhav and Aditya Thackeray now, according to you?
Madam, you know that Shiv Sena ruled in the name of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. And Sambhaji
Yes.
Maharaj, who was his son, had gone to the opposition group. He has gone to the enemies of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Still, he had the tactics how to bring him back. It is not that he had made a pact with his enemies whenever the war was going on, because that is a strategy in the war that he will have to understand. If somebody from your camp is going away from you, you'll have to bring them back first. My last sentence with Uddhav Sahib is that our home is burning, sir. You first extinguish the fire. And that is what Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj used to do. And today, if your Maulas have gone to the other camp, you should have have that tactics. Today, you are telling, "Come back to us. You are our family." And the same day, you are approaching the Supreme Court to disqualify them. What kind of tactics and what he is being advised to do? This is something different, madam. They have such a cadre around him who don't know how to find
Hmm.
such kind of fire. Sahib used to call the Shiv Sainik to his home, Matosri. He used to pat them. He used to put that saffron tikka on their head, and they used to be satisfied with that. They used to come with anger, not only with Uddhav Sahib. They used to come to Sahib also. But Sahib used to
Yeah.
meet them. Madam, your leader not meeting you for 3 months, 6 months, and then today they are meeting ordinary workers also. We are MLAs. We represent 3 lakh people. So if we don't have the opportunity to meet our own leader, then the distance is created, and that distance really was responsible for whatever is happening today. But the good thing, madam, that is what is happening in Maharashtra, is that a farmer's son has become chief minister of Maharashtra. So that is something that everybody will rejoice. The rural population of Maharashtra will be very happy today because a farmer's son has become CM of Maharashtra. And on the other hand, our 50% 1% population stays in urban areas. So those people will be also happy because he was a councillor and his leadership was from urban areas. So he has
Hmm.
that thought or experience of both the
But but but
areas.
but that Mr. Shinde's humble background, the fact that he's today leading a state, this is of course an extraordinary story from where to where, and I take that point. But to come back to Uddhav Thackeray, you made two or three very important points: that he did not meet you for months, that you told him your house is burning, pehle apni ghar ki aag bujhaiye. There was no response. Sharad Pawar was growing the NCP at the cost of the Sena. But ab kya hoga, Deepak ji? What will happen to the Thackeray's now? Are they going to, is Aditya Thackeray going to be invited to be part of government, for example? Are you going to ask Uddhav Thackeray to keep running the party? You say Uddhav Thackeray didn't meet his own people for months.
Now it's a good thing that Aditya is going to his Shakha. Now people are able to meet him, and that is a good thing coming out of a bad thing. So we always call it is a blessing in disguise. So you know what a person like me feels about. We are very close, and Thackeray family is very close to our heart. They should learn a lesson from Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj used to, make a kind of pact, and he used to, in a way, people may think that he has surrendered, but he used to see that his home is intact, and then he used to fight again. So it is a time to say that whatever stance I had taken, it was a wrong stance, but the rebels, they work on the principles of Bahasab Thackeray. Let him say that you need a big heart for this, madam. And I know him, he's a big hearted, but his advisors, I don't know, as it is, they think about small, small things. You keep your family intact. Even Honorable Modi will like it. Modi Sahib will like it because he
Yes.
has that attachment to Baba Sahib, and he should not forget that. Every time people like Raut keep on saying bad words about it, that don't help him. He will keep on
Yeah.
challenging us. Don't help him.
Can I ask you who you consider as your leader Is your leader Uddhav Thackeray or is your leader Eknath Shinde?
Madam, right now in politics, in power politics, our leader is Mr. Shinde. When it comes to power politics, if you come to the party and ideology of a party, it is no doubt Uddhav Sahib. But Uddhav Sahib has to behave like Para Sahib, madam. Otherwise, this party, there will be split in the party. Right now, we are in Shiv Sena. How many days we can say that we are Shiv Sena, we are Shiv Sena, and does he expect us to fight him for the symbol and control over the party? No, madam. None of us look at this. We were, in fact, very saddened when he stepped down as a CM, because our fight was against Congress and NCP, never against Uddhav Sahib. But that was the
Yeah.
ultimate thing. When we were asking him to leave those two parties, he didn't listen to us, and that was the final thing. And today he's accusing that Barasaheb's son was made to step down from the CM's post by us. It is not like that, madam. Never, and we never intended that. So it is
So
just
what
a
do you
simple.
expect? What do you want Uddhav Thackeray to do right now? If there is a fight over the symbol, if there is a fight over who is the real Shiv Sena,
Where
what
the
will you
fight
do?
has started, madam, the fight has not yet started. He should accept that this is my Shiv Sena. These are my people who have gone away from him. I was partly responsible for the entire episode. Let me take my family together. Let me support them. We are still Shiv Sainiks. We have announced that we are Shiv Sainiks. It is for now to him to take the first step. How he takes gracefully, and how, because we always feel that his honor should be kept. So that is our thinking, and they are still thinking of fighting us. They are still thinking of disqualifying us. They still thinking of going to the courts. So that is their thinking, and he is being advised because he has his own advisors, and that team is mostly responsible for whatever has happened in Maharashtra and whatever happened for Shiv Sena.
But you will remain the Shiv Sena, and if they say you need to merge with another party, which is the legal argument that they're making, that you please go and merge with the BJP, Shiv Sena to ab hum hai, what will you say?
So why they should say like that? They want to create some misunderstanding with us and the Shiv Sainiks, who is our real party worker. Why I'm asking a question to the real party workers. If we are Shiv Sainik and you are Shiv Sainiks, then why this misunderstanding is being created? Because we are not supposed to merge. When we are the largest party within the party, then we become, our Shinde Sahib becomes the leader of the party, and the remaining 14 MLAs, how they can remove a person who is elected by 55 MLAs? That is my question. So
Yes.
where does this question arises? And if we are talking about the constitution of the party, constitution of party don't supersede the constitution of India. Nothing can supersede constitution of India, and nothing in the party which you have made your own constitution, because supersede even the act which is enacted by either parliament or assembly. So party
Yeah.
constitution does not supersede. So ordinary Shiv Sainik will not understand this. I'll have to go to all parts of Maharashtra, tell them that this is the fact. What they are claiming? We are not going away from the party. We are not going to form our group and merge in any party, because then the Shiv Sainiks will be very angry. But we still claim us to be Shiv Sainiks. Why are you keeping us away? That is my question.
Yeah. Last question to you, Deepak ji. There are some people who believe that the power, the remote control, what Bala Sahib Thackeray used to call the remote control, will now lie with Devendra Fadnavis, not with Eknath Shinde. How do you respond to this?
No, madam, Eknath Shinde is a worker. He travels from one end of Maharashtra to the other end of Maharashtra. Whenever there are floods in Maharashtra, Eknath Shinde's trucks with all kind of aid reaches first before the government reaches that affected area. Eknath Shinde's help reaches them. When we were in Assam, he gave 51 lakhs to the Chief Minister's Fund of Assam to help the flood affected people. When there was a building collapse in Mumbai, he announced equivalent help that the government was offering to the victims, 5 lakh to the person who has expired and 1 lakh for the person who was injured. So that is within your blood, because he was developed by Bahasaheb. No? Bahasaheb used to tell 90% social work, 10% politics. So he's that breed of Shiv Sena which believes in 90% social work and 10% politics. So will you not call him Shiv Sainik? Will you not call
Yeah.
him your own man? That is the question. So you got to have a
Well,
big heart to accept this fact, madam.
Well, Deepak Kesarkar, who has been the key, as it were, architect, one of the key architects of this new alliance between Eknath Shinde and the BJP, revealing, making many big revelations in this interview. Thank you so much, Deepak ji, and we'll keep talking
Madam,
to you
and
as we.
very, very humbly, I like to tell you, I was not the architect. Those were the 50
One of
MLAs
the
who
other.
rebelled, and they are the
Okay.
architects. Thank you, madam. And
All
Mr.
right.
Shinde, who
Point
leads.
taken.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you, madam.
sir. Take care. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.